Jeez, what's the volume on this mic like? Oh, that's loud. Okay, that's slightly better. Sorry, I got Jesse's stream in the background. Oh, this is gonna take forever. Shit!
Hey, Lindsay.
Hey, Jesse.
Did you get in?
It's downloading the pack right now.
Okay. You don't have to pay for it, right?
Nope.
It just lets you do it because I put it as a rule, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's gonna
Whoa, I almost fell through the floor.
It's gonna take a
I'm
while
wondering
though.
if it lets you see the skins I have now.
I hope so. That would be awesome.
Because I had to change my settings to you must accept what I show you here. The only thing I don't like, honestly, is that the copper ingots look like gold ingots. But
That's
beyond
gonna.
that, the view of this is just so much better.
That's cool. Damn, that must be a big pack, cause was it 319.1 megabytes? Damn. I'm gonna be at the main menu for a little bit. What are you listening to?
Oh, just some wise Gen Z slowly giving up.
Oh, it sounds like you're watching a video from Moon.
Yeah, I am. How'd you know that?
I could tell by the voice, because I subscribed to his channel. He did a really good video talking about A Clockwork Orange being accurate to real life, or today's society. Accurate as fuck. I mean, just look at the state of TikTok. Like, you look at TikTok in the Western world, they're pushing all this commie propaganda. TikTok is a product of China. Meanwhile, in China, they're getting, like, the good propaganda.
Yeah, in China, TikTok's not allowed.
Mm-hmm. Yep, indeed. Like, dear God, you just go on TikTok here, and it's like, I can't even do it because I feel I'm gonna suffer some permanent brain damage. Yeah, and that motherfucker is facing 100 years in prison.
Of course he is. They need to follow him in.
Yeah, they do. Hopefully, the cameras don't malfunction in his cell.
It's amazing how no one's even talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Gee, wonder why.
Because of
Oh,
who he
yeah.
gave all the money to. That's good. You got played, though.
Oh, he did get played. He got played bad. And now there's a huge possibility that he's going to get Epsteined in prison.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's called wrapping up loose ends, Lindsay.
Yep. And it makes me wonder all the info all the dirty little secrets that he knows about people in the Democrat Party. Just saying.
Probably not enough.
About halfway through little more than halfway through the download. God, this is taking forever. Oh, hi, Clem. God, I fucking wish.
If you really want to leave society, quote unquote, it doesn't cost anything. It
Oh,
costs $0 to leave society. If you want to make it a little easier, it might cost like $200-300 in gas to get you out towards the woods.
mm-hmm.
But once you're out there, I hate to break it to you, there ain't no store in the woods, Cupcake.
Nope.
You
Yeah,
can have
you're
$1
gonna have
billion.
to.
You don't need it. You don't
Yep.
need it. Other than
Mm-hmm.
toilet paper and kindling. No, why? Because there's no place to spend that. So you need $0 to get away from society. Hate to break it to you. That's a lie.
Yeah.
That's a big fucking mental block with a lot of people because they consider getting away from society still being part of society, just not quite as much. So let's be honest about what we talk about here. Because if you say get away from society, I think you're going to bug out, go out to the woods, live off the grid. That's what that means.
Right. And good luck living off the grid,
Yeah,
because
unless you're fucking nobody
because you're gonna have
and you
to
have a
learn.
fucking compound.
You're
You
gonna
know what the
have to
fuck you're doing.
learn a lot of shit. You're gonna have to learn to grow your own food. You're gonna have to learn to do all sorts.
How do I fix an alternator on a 1964 backhoe? Because no one's here to help, and it's really rusted. I didn't go get my bubble gum, my duct tape. It's real good.
Well, no, it's like I get it. Like I would love to live. I would love to have all this acreage on a house, like way out in the middle of nowhere. But I know that there's work to it.
Oh yeah.
You're not just going to be living out off the grid, thinking that you're still going to get DoorDash way the fuck out there. It's like, no,
You
that's
know what
not
the
how it
real trick
works.
is? Instead of buying a bunch of land,
Hmm.
I couldn't find any place like this, but like my house is in a similar situation. Because nothing could be built around my neighborhood or added onto
Hmm.
my neighborhood. Like the biggest thing that's going on around my neighborhood is down through the woods and over. They're
Uh-huh.
turning an old farm into a campground, which is
Mm.
kind of neat. So technically, yes, I could go play Jason and live like a normal person, but just saying, just saying. Um, but the smartest thing to do is to get a house where your property line butts up against a wildlife preserve,
Hmm.
because that land can never be touched, can never be developed, and it's like having all that in your backyard because it touches your backyard. What's the fucking difference? Except you don't have to pay for it.
Mhm.
Someone else maintains it. Keeps all them trails nice.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, you're so like I'm jealous where you're at because like you don't have neighbors like touching you
oh,
like
I
where I
do
live.
have neighbors touching me. I have neighbors on either side. I live on a normal road. Just the backyards are deep.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, the backyard looks like there's not a whole lot of like people like within like your space, if that makes any sense. Because like my neighborhood, all the houses. I mean, we're separated, but the houses are still pretty close together. Like I could hear parties happening in my neighborhood if somebody's to have a party.
I wish somebody around here would have a party. I'd feel like there's people living here.
Right.
It's all old
Whoa.
people. Oh, you're in?
Yes, I am.
Looks way better, right?
Holy shit. Oh my god, the sword looks cool too.
Yeah, the
Wow.
crafting tables look really good.
Very, very nice. Very nice. Nice furnace, the bamboo stalks. Wow. This is neat.
The animals all have better faces too, and the dogs are colored in.
Oh, cool.
Would it not be better to work within society and at least try and make it a bit better, rather than just leaving it? The world faces similar crises. Years ago, Nietzsche saw that the only escape from nihilism was to create your own values. They can't be based in hyperreality.
Man, no wonder you got that texture pack. Yeah, this looks so much nicer. It looks like the clouds are multicolored. They are. Interesting. Oh wow, the chests look really nice too.
And as creating
Yeah, doors all look better too.
the only
Yeah.
thing that actually exists is your own viewpoint and your own perspective. That
It
world
doesn't look like they fixed the
is
skin
limited control.
problem.
Nietzsche believed the highest values we
Why, you don't see a
create come
turtle?
from the
Nope.
innate will to power. And what he meant
Weird.
by this is still up for debate, but it doesn't mean simply forcing everything and everyone into submission. Instead, one interpretation of how
Wow.
well you can shape the world around you, to have power in your life. The better you can make it, the more it suits your own personal purposes, the more power you have. To analyze everything you read, think about the motivations behind the person saying it. Decide whether it aligns with your own personal world and whether it can make it better. If it can, embrace it and see what happens. If not, discard it. The world is going through a crisis and it will need you. The only thing you can do though is rest is up to you. Handle crises that breed strong people. Make sure you're one of them. But if you're interested in really finally defeating your social once and for all, I think you'll find my community of interest. See, I'm actively working with like destroy internet. Once one calls a post.
So you're still broadcasting on Red Death Gaming?
Mhm.
So we're in the same broadcast with the same audio, but I
Mhm.
got a hate speech strike and that one didn't.
Nope.
YouTube makes sense.
Like it makes me wonder if they could detect that what you say is on your channel. Like that, although yeah, that would be kind of strange. It's like how are they able to tell where the so-called hate speech is coming from? Like,
Well, it doesn't matter because if I ran a panel with my face on it and someone else says something, I get blamed for it. So this YouTube is full of shit.
yeah, it is.
And it's like everybody's like just hoping one day maybe I can make 3 cents off of like the one person that watches the video.
That's why I'm surprised that they haven't nuked Salty Cracker off.
I don't know.
Cause I mean, even when he's streaming on YouTube, he still gets pretty spicy. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm super grateful that he's still on YouTube, but still, I mean, we pretty much share the same viewpoints. We basically say almost the exact same shit as he does, but yet you're the one who gets busted. Like, there's no logic to that.
Can you go to bed?
Sure. Wow, even the sky looks cool. Wow, even the sounds are a little different too. Wow, the dirt looks great. Wow, the sun's it's a weird color. It looks more like the moon than the sun.
Sun's round now.
Yeah. I'm so glad you managed to get that texture pack to work.
Oh yeah. I'm going off to go get some stuff.
Okay.
Got pickaxes. No, I don't.
For the mysterious identity of Teddy Perkins. Join us. Whilst in the middle of a drone presenters were shocked when one of their glasses suddenly moved. Clearly confused, they play the Odysee off and continue on. Keep that on the middle of a newspaper. Drone presenters were shocked when one of their glasses suddenly moved on its own. Clearly confused, play the Odysee off and continue on. Keep that on the middle of a However, Rose Carlos Molina felt a sharp chill down his spine seconds before the glass moved. Also denied any speculation that the battle behind the door. Further, in response to the skeptics, Molina claimed he tried to move the glass, but that it was stuck to the table. He is convinced that the incident confessed that it had been traumatized. Pope Francis appeared. However, bizarrely, as he stepped back inside, he seemed to vanish in thin air. He goes bye-bye! Curious, sir, we've got all copies of this video, only the official version, as to why the Vatican would do this. simply Francis was sick that day, or alternatively, an safety protocol, perhaps to prevent assassination attempts. However, though it sounds unbelievable, basic holograms have been presented on multiple occasions. Against such technology exists, it would be far more advanced behind closed doors.
Wow, and the saplings actually look like saplings.
During the news coverage of the 2011 Japanese tsunami, some viewers spotted a mysterious black bird. In the video, a black bird mysteriously stranger in slow motion, it seems to repeatedly vanish and reappear. So skeptics were quick to conclude that the bird was the result of compression. Paranormal enthusiasts first seen in West Virginia, 1960. For the next year. Finally, on December 14th, 1997, it was above the Silver Bridge. Early the next day, the bridge suddenly collapsed and the Mothman vanished. Allegedly being observed for disasters, admonition and death. So it could be an unusual creature, Mothman. Questions why no you captured on live TV. However, in today's they captured an almost video from Peru. February 2020, the channel Capital TV hotspot. Those were doubtful that they would catch their amazement. Sunlight above the sea.
Ooh, the swords in the inventory screen look like sticks.
Excited crowd were at hand with their lips, shining them at the object. Incredibly, it seemed to respond back. Though some have argued that it could be a bird, those who saw it maintain it was a UFO. In previous videos, I have covered the controversial theory that legendary musician actually faked his death. However, one piece of supposed evidence that I neglected to mention is his identity.
Yeah, you remember that shit?
What? Didn't really hear.
Teddy Perkins, when that weird looking guy showed up at the award show and everybody thought it was Michael Jackson, who had already died in like tons more plastic surgery and makeup. Then like no one ever saw that dude again.
I don't think I remember that one. I probably do.
I'll send you
I
a
need to
picture of
watch
him.
it.
First appeared
Yeah.
in a acclaimed show Atlanta, where he was played by Donald Glover. Yet mysteriously, the haircut at the Emmys wasn't played by Glover. No. I'll co-star like a stranger. Director, yet mysteriously, his odd appearance at the 20 Jackson-inspired character first appeared on the acclaimed show Atlanta,
Oh, it's
where he
from
was
a
played by
show.
Donald Glover. Yet mysteriously, the character at the Emmys wasn't played by Glover, nor by his brother Stephen, or co-star Lakers Stanfield. Additionally, a director, Aaron Wright, refused to reveal who it was. This led to theories that Perkins was really Jackson in disguise, and that he used the show to tell his story. In particular, believers point to this short clip, in which he cryptically says that someone did kill him, but that he's still alive.
Those dead celebrities spotted theories are just fascinating.
This has been the message. Those from Jackson fans say yes, others aren't so sure. What do you think? After the end of an interview, a politician walks simply red briefcase. However, once he passes this parked car, the case now becomes green. Weirder still, you can see the color is still red just before he comes back into frame.
Yeah, he switched it with the guy in the car. You see
He
his
was
hand move.
obviously confounded. Some claim it was evidence of government manipulation. Whatever the case, mystery doesn't end there. Only a few minutes earlier, the briefcase literally transformed in front of the camera, this time from green to red.
The fuck?
Is it possible that this is video evidence of a glitch in the Matrix?
Glitch in the Matrix.
It did just literally just turn from green to red while he was showing it to everyone.
Wow.
Like slowly it just bled into being red from being green.
Rescuers made massive efforts to briefly untrapped in the debris. Now, this didn't exist. But who did rescuers talk to? Who was this child? 5 years prior to the fireworks.
Frosted Sporting Goods now for the best selection and holiday gifts. Cozy Cabin Collection.
Vatican has a telescope and a big observatory. It has for hundreds of years.
Peter's bones, maybe somebody else's bones. Again, we can't know for sure.
Channel Power of God. Drive safely away. In the heart of Rome, beneath the shadow of the majestic St. Peter's Basilica, lies a network of that have endured for the Vatican, revered as the epicenter of the Catholic faith, holds more than just prayers and pontiffs within its hallowed walls.
We'll find out what the secret is.
Whispers of hidden societies, ancient manuscripts locked away, and mysterious artifacts shrouded in secrecy centuries.
Impossible for
I love how the sky looks.
titles who wrote it, when they were written.
What are these puzzles the Vatican has safeguarded with what untold truths lie within its archives, hidden prying eyes? Join us in this video as we travel some of the darkest Vatican hidden from us for thousands of years. The Vatican Apostolic Archive. The Vatican archives, once shrouded in mystery and no archive, hold a vast treasure trove of knowledge. It's a network of concealed pure corridors, making it a place of undeniable. Even if you were
I guess I have to pick up some torches.
archive's expanse, your quest for knowledge would be a difficult one. The archive housed a peculiar index where valuable clues are mysteriously handwritten. These cryptic writings served as roadmaps to the archive's riches, but they were like symbols that only a select few could understand. But the mystery deepened further. Some secrets have been intentionally forgotten, hidden away in plain sight. For instance, the letters of Pope Alexander VI, who ruled the Vatican from 1431 to 1503, reveal a dark chapter in the Vatican's history. These letters, filled with scandalous and evil content concerning the women in his circle, were meticulously stashed away. Archivist Giovanni Battista Confalieri bound them into 8 separate volumes, deliberately obscuring their location. It took an astonishing 124 years until the dawn of the 20th for someone to unearth writing. The archive is a sanctuary for the forgotten, where secrets slumber for centuries. The Vatican archives also harbor a hidden chamber, rumored to contain extraordinarily valuable documents. However, entry into the sanctum is forbidden without the express permission of the prefect of the archives, a privilege seldom granted to ordinary people. What secrets lie within this closely guarded vault? The imagination runs wild, for these documents could hold the old puzzle from the existence of extraterrestrial life to challenge the very concept of God. It's concealed within these hallowed, penetrable, known to only a select captivating puzzle. The Vatican archives are a storehouse of human faith and knowledge, but they also stand as evidence of the power. The ordinary person can only think about the boundless field in the dark corner, waiting to be discovered or lost to time. It was a place where the known and the coexist, a sanctuary of puzzles, beckoning the curious but withholding its most profound truth. In the depths of the Vatican archive, the line between myth and word and the quest for truth becomes a complicated odyssey into the heart. The escape of the Nazis. A compelling theory put forth by writer Gerald.
Oh, I picked up some seeds too.
Steinacher suggested that the Holy See possessed documents that could unveil its role in aiding the escape of Nazis from war-torn Europe. This revelation, if true, would be a startling revelation of World War II. Following the Second World War, a sinister exodus unfolded, with high-ranking military Schutzstaffel fleeing
The
to
shit
distant shores,
Staffel.
particularly
The
to the
shit
western
waffle?
towns of
Shit,
That's not a good name.
shit,
You
shit,
shit waffle?
shit waffle.
Somebody ought to tell me what that means in American.
served as intriguing remnants, hinting at the Vatican's involvement in facilitating escape. He posited a compelling motive behind
Shit waffle.
the revival of European Christianity.
I've heard of twat waffle.
The mystery was the resolute silence of the Catholic Church itself. Still present, the Vatican maintained a puzzling silence, steadfastly refusing to comment on these grave acts. The world was left to wonder, sealed within the hallowed walls of the Vatican. There was more to this. Accusations emerged of complicity in aiding the looting endeavors. They plundered art, gold, and property. In his book, Gerald Posner, worrying assertion, weaving a narrative where the financial advisor to the Vatican during the war, Bernardino Nogara, is cast as a nefarious character, a Nazi spy. According to Posner, Nogara masterminded a ghastly scheme that allowed the Vatican to invest in Italian, effectively safeguarding the assets from the life insurance policies of murdered Jewish families.
Oh, I missed.
These are allegations.
Uh-oh.
Light on a clandestine
I
collaboration
missed,
between the
Lindsay.
Vatican and the
Say that one more
Ruh-roh.
time. I hit a rock.
Yet the most perplexing aspect was the veil of secrecy that shrouded this disturbing chapter. It was believed that conclusive evidence for both Steinacher and Posner's claims
Oh, I thought it was
remained
daytime.
hidden within
Why are
the
there so many
tortuous
bad guys down
archives
here?
of the Vatican, concealed away from the prying eyes
I
of
don't
the
know what. It seems like anytime it
in a
it's
world that often
dawn,
sees the
like
black and white
dawn,
picture.
almost morning is like
Vatican's
when
role in the
they
escape of
just
the
like
Nazis emerged
monsters
as
are
a
just
complex,
out and about.
morally fraught gray area.
Wow, zombies actually have
Cases,
faces
the
now.
documents, and silence from the Vatican
They're
Oh
way
wow.
better.
have created an irresistible puzzle, one that continued to captivate the imagination of historians, journalists, and the curious public alike. As long as these secrets remained locked within the Vatican's vaults, the captivating question of the Holy See's involvement in one of the episodes in history will persist. A question that demands answers, accountability, and an unveiling of the truth that has been elusive for far too long. Unmasking the donation of Constantine forgery. For over 1,500 years, the Vatican, the epicenter of the Catholic Church, has been notorious for its intricate schemes and manipulation of facts. Among the countless stories of intrigue and influence, one case stands out as a symbol of the Vatican's power over European. Early 4th century, Eastern Roman Empire is a unique era of prosperity under the rule of Emperor Constantine the Great. His most significant move was making Christianity the dominant state religion. However, even such noble pursuits couldn't shield him from a grave affliction, leprosy. The emperor's life hung, leaving the fate of countless Christians uncertain. Miraculously, Pope Sylvester I played a pivotal role in this saga. It was rumored that his prayers healed Emperor Constantine, rescuing him from the brink of death. In gratitude, Constantine astonishingly surrendered his power and vast territories to the Pope. This divine intervention might make today's health costs seem trivial. Nonetheless, Pope Sylvester was unprepared for the colossal responsibility thrust upon him and promptly returned the power to Constantine.
That's a
This
deep hole.
extraordinary tale was recounted in the 15th century by Pope Stephen II to Pepin the Short, the king of the Franks. To further solidify the narrative, Pope Stephen II produced a document known as the Donation of.
Wow, it actually makes a little, these textures make it a little easier to plant bamboo as well.
Stephen
Think
II
so?
argued that
Mhm.
since Sylvester I
Why, just because it's easier to see or something?
Yeah, like it's easier to see the blocks.
the decree rightfully belonged to the church. Pepin the Short, unable to read, had no choice but to accept this claim, giving more power to the church. If he could have read the text, he might have been startled by lines granting the Pope authority over the making him the Pope's groom. The shocking aspect of this tale is that the donation of Constantine was an elaborate forgery, a document containing deceitful points to serve the Vatican's interests. The Church continued to use the fraudulent decree for centuries, gradually annexing territories in central Italy, including Rome and its surroundings, Romagna, Lazio, and March. It wasn't until the late 16th century that Cardinal Cesare Borgia about the contradictions in the donation of Constantine that the issue was raised. However, his daring dissent was swiftly silenced.
Looks like my battery died. I'm just like, this super dangerous area looks like a great place for a dig.
That's almost done. Oh, I think I'm gonna need, yeah, I'm gonna need more swords.
Shit!
There we go.
No, that was a bad thing. Shit. How am I gonna handle this? I don't know. I'm just gonna handle it. Okay, bye. What I have on me? Anything important? Just everything I just picked up, which was a good amount of shit. So yes. Okay, run, bitch. Get back over to the spot. I got a big chasm to get down. I don't know how I'm getting down there. And like most of my stuff's probably at the bottom of it now. So yeah.
Shit.
And somebody's shooting at me. That's fucking dandy.
Of course, skeletons have to come along and ruin your day. I think that's all planted. Yep.
Damn, that horse looks crazy.
I guess we don't have to worry about snow anymore. Oh, no, 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 no. Back, back. There we go. Nearly got caught in the waterfall. Almost got dragged down.
Oh, you know what they say, if you're gonna be stupid, be all the way stupid.
Oh, go full retard?
To which I just did. I'm way down this fucking pit now. I'm at negative 42. Or a middle coordinate. I was hoping my shit would be down here. Which it ain't. Can't hit a bed, so
Of course.
bad guys go away. I gotta go pee.
Sure. All right, I'll be right back. Okay. Let me sit back. There we go. Okay. Bamboo's growing nicely. Very, very nice.
Really wish I had some other fucking torches. Who's hitting me?
I'm like, are you down in a mine?
No, I'm jumped down a hole at the end of the bridge.
Huh.
Of which there's another one of these chasms, so
Oh
I'm going
my.
to back the fuck up for a minute.
Looks more like the moon than the sun.
I'm just trying to dig my way up out of this hole. It'll
Ooh.
take me forever. I'm out of pickaxes. Plug that shit in. Trying to get whatever I can out of this vape, but I know it's empty.
Oh, yeah, eventually I'm gonna have to do a restock on weed. Thank God my corner store is like walking distance and they sell weed.
There ain't nothing in walking distance around me. No.
Yeah, that's what sucks. Where you're at, yeah.
Fucking down a big hill.
Why did the Vatican wait to confirm the authenticity of these relics? Skeptics, including, argue that certitude within the ancient crypt.
Oh, neat. The moon actually looks like the moon.
They often downgrade these exorcisms to the realm of politics, dismissing them as yet delve deep than an integral part of a millennium. One name that looms the late chief exorcist of the Vatican quoted a staggering 6,000 exorcists. But Father Amorth, popes themselves, leaders of
Not seeing any villages.
the secret archive, but also offer insight. It is within these classified demonic entities. Portal has fueled speculations about their that satanic and religious cults played a pivotal role in gateway, the sinister intent of ushering demonic into our reality. But if these secrets hold any truth of reality itself, portals concealed in ancient texts raises profound questions about the boundary between. What if there is a parallel realm where well and priests with keeping them at bay? These portals be pathways space
No, I don't think so.
Like, nah, I don't think so, bro.
It's not a story.
The Vatican has harbored puzzling secrets and conceived down through generations, evoke curiosity. In the hallowed halls, network of hidden archives, long forgotten documents.
Whoa, that looks like palm trees down there.
Locked away from one of the most captivating Vatican secret archives, knowledge that could read what texts and artifacts are concealed.
Yasmin, what are you doing?
Vatican's covert dealings and clandestine diplomacy with various also fueled speculation. What agreements, alliances,
Oh, hi, kitty. Come here. Come here, Yasmin.
closed doors away from the scrutiny of
What?
whispers of suppressed knowledge to the mystery
That's my
of
tea.
the Vatican's holy grounds. An aura of intrigue surrounded this ancient institution. The Vatican
Lindsay's practicing to be an old cat lady.
Yep.
What is your opinion about
The Carolingians.
That's me, the crazy cat lady. Scary thing is that a lot of these fucking liberal white women are appropriating my lifestyle, my cat lady lifestyle. Yeah, you could fuck off.
It's not a lifestyle.
I don't know
Sometimes
what
when
you
you don't
call
have a
it.
lifestyle.
I
It's
don't know
kind of
what you
like
call
calling the clothes I wear calling the clothes I wear fashion sense.
it.
Otto had manipulated by adding 300 Pope Sylvester initially endorsed this seemingly insane leading to its dismissal by the scientific community. However, over time, evidence began to emerge. Archaeologists had long known from the 7th to the 10th centuries. So many objects existed before and after.
A little bit of res.
Securely dated to the
A little bit of what?
A little bit of resin.
Ah, I got some resin. Cool.
You got big time resin and long time. Wow, it tastes like it always did. That's some memory. People are like, oh, that tastes bad. I'm like, that tastes like nostalgia, bitch.
It tastes like nostalgia.
That tastes like nostalgia, motherfucker. I don't care what anybody says.
I never thought of resin as like tasting like nostalgia.
Why did it appear all of the Middle Ages, all the historical evidence? The third continued. Did Otto the Third in this captivating historical puzzle, the true narrative of in the heart of Europe, interconnected with the... This tale peculiarly evokes intrigue.
What did I do with that sapling? Oh, there it is.
Of the Second Crusade.
Not wrong.
However, the strangest Bernard. For her to reveal her divine response, squirted her milk.
Did you hear that?
No.
Did you hear what I was playing on the radio?
I could barely
So-
hear it.
Oh.
And she, as if in divine response. However, his strangest connection lies with the Virgin, a connection etched in history as the lactation of Saint Bernard.
The what?
Peculiar challenge Saint Bernard presented to the Virgin Mary. He implored her to reveal the true Mother of Christ. Astonishingly, it is said that her statue came to life, and she, as if in divine response, squirted her milk into Saint Bernard's eyes. This mystifying act.
Now did you hear it?
I heard Virgin Mary.
Okay, so Saint Bernard wanted the Virgin Mary to reveal herself, so the statue comes alive, pulls out her titties, and squirts milk in his eyes.
Yeah,
That's the Catholic Church.
I've heard Virgin Mary and lactation, and I was like, wait, lactation, what?
Alternative versions of the legend suggested that Saint
I'm
Bernard
like,
had
that's breast
and
milk.
the miraculous milk.
Like, what the fuck?
However, the core of these remains unchanged.
Wacky.
Lacky wacky.
Incident itself, but its unexpected aftermath. The tale of Saint Bernard on a life of its own, captivating the imagination throughout Europe. It became wildly popular, and its imprint can be found in artworks scattered across the continent, most notably in Germany and the Netherlands during the 15th century. Imagine strolling through those picturesque European towns and encountering artwork that captures this extraordinary moment. A monk's eyes bathed in the...
Did Mary have nice
The legend's
tits?
pervasiveness in artistry and culture raises profound questions about
Was
the
Bernard
value
like,
of
Mother Mary, may I see them titties?
and reality. This strange
Yes, inquiring minds really want to know if the Virgin Mary had nice tits.
belief in the surreal stories that shaped our history. It's a glimpse into the uncharted territories of religious fervor, where saints, miracles, and the divine converge in captivating and, at times, bewildering ways. The legend of Saint Bernard lactation persists as an evident thread woven into the thread of European history. It's a pointer to the enduring
Titties.
and the captivating
Titties.
bizarre narrative conceived so long invites us to question the boundaries of the extraordinary and the take on our collective consciousness. Hidden history of aliens. For years, tales of the Vatican's secret archives have served as feed for wild theories. Some audacious souls have dared to suggest that within these ancient documents lie irrefutable proof of celestial visitation of Earth spanning millennia. Not just passive spectators, they claim, but active collaborators with the Vatican, steering the course of human. One captivating remnant for conspiracy has been the writings of Giordano Bruno, a visionary scientist from the century. Bruno dared to uncover truths about the universe, proposing that it was in and teeming with myriad other worlds. Could he have stumbled upon this cosmic revelation through contact with beings not of this earth? Alas, such conjectures remain forever unspoken, for Bruno's quest for truth led him to the stake in 16. But this is not the sole puzzle piece in the mosaic of Vatican ET connection. Whispers abound of an even stranger nature, claiming that among the Vatican relics are mysterious skulls. Some assert that these head curiosities are not suggesting they may be remnants of extraterrestrial beings. A baffling notion indeed, but the world of conspiracy abounds. Yet, the wildest claim unfurls in
Ooh,
more
it's a nice sunset.
Vatican and its members
That's a really
serve
nice
malevolent
sunset. Wow.
extraterrestrials.
We got a
According to
sunset
this
in
theory,
Minecraft.
some cloudy chapters of the past millennium, these visitors managed to corrupt the hearts and minds
Reminiscent of
Vatican's
the
custodians,
sunsets in
compelling them
my
into a
home
sinister
state.
partnership to subjugate humanity. Their nefarious plan, it is said, involves the clandestine implantation of microchips into every human on Earth, facilitating round-the-clock surveillance. At first glance, it might seem a stretch of the imagination, but a cursory social credit system and the use of subdermal chips for wireless payments raises questions. However, amidst these
Yeah,
captivating speculations,
fuck your
it's essential to emphasize
microchips.
a critical truth. There remains no credible supporting the
You ain't gonna be
Vatican's
chipping me
collusion
like
with
cattle.
extraterrestrial. As thrilling as it may be in these fantastic narratives, they remain lodged firmly in the realm of conjecture and imagination. Our world is filled with mystery, but it is our prerogative to discern fact from fiction and temper the temptation of the unknown with a healthy dose of skepticism. In this ongoing saga, let our quest for truth and understanding never fluctuate, unveiling the secrets of ancient nuclear wars. The Apostolic Archive served as the storehouse of knowledge in the medieval Vatican City. This storehouse of knowledge access, even for journalists and scholars from the world's prestigious institutions. The complicated rules decree that only a selected group of scientists aged 75 and above are, and they can request a mere 3 articles per visit. If they desire more, the complex entry procedure must be repeated. What treasures does this closely guarded archive truly conceal? Could it hold secrets not of a bygone era, but of a forgotten new? While the world is captivated by this Vatican mystery, clues to a prehistoric civilization's advanced knowledge may have been brought to light thousands of miles away. In the ancient city of Harappa, nestled in present-day Pakistan,
Almost sounds like Harambe.
remarkable remains dating back to the 4th century. What amazed research wasn't just the city's antiquity, but its ingenuity. The streets of Harappa ran north to south, west to east, serving a purpose beyond aesthetics. They provided access to running water, a technology millennia at a time. The city boasted not just toilets, but swimming pools and waterproof bathhouses. This civilization, known as the Indus Valley Civilization, remains one of history's most enigmatic and explored chapters. The veil of mystery surrounds design as it mysteriously vanished around 1300 BC. Various theories attribute its demise to natural.
No matter what type of severe Spire can help you have fewer asthma attacks and better. Tespire is an add-on treatment for 12 and over. It is not a rescue medication. Don't take Tespire if rash or eye allergy. Stop your asthma treatments. Doctor tells you to. Tell your doctor if you have a parasite infection or your asthma or throat, joint, and eye vaccine. Tespire today.
Disasters or resources. But in
Alright, managed to get out of the hole.
Well, that's good. It's night, so be careful.
Now I'm coming back up the waterfall.
Okay.
Filled with rocks melted and formed into glass-like material. Such a transformation requires temperatures exceeding 500 degrees Celsius, suggesting a disastrous event akin to an atomic blast. Further investigation reveals
Cool. Finally start adding more of the bridge.
Did this ancient civilization possess the knowledge of nuclear technology? Strikingly, ancient Indian epic poetry, the Mahabharata, offers
Mahabharata.
massive explosions with a brightness of 10,000 suns that destroyed entire populations. It details the aftermath. Survivors lost their hair, and the land and food were contaminated.
Sounds about right.
These accounts transcend describing historical events. The implications are profound. If this civilization had access to atomic bombs, What other advanced knowledge lay hidden in the shadows of history? As we gaze upon the archive, we must also ponder the secrets hidden within our past. Secrets that may reach our understanding of human and technological evolution. The Vatican's archive guards its secrets, while the Indus Valley civilization story challenges the very essence of our past and the potential of our future. The Vatican Elephant. In the bustling year of 1962, amidst the backdrop of Vatican Italian workers modern cooling and that would keep the sacred blessing and bishops of the Vatican in comfortable comfort. Little did they know their efforts would uncover a startling secret that had been hidden for centuries. As the workers delved deeper into their renovation project, they stumbled upon something that four large bones, large tooth emerged from the depths of the Vatican's subterranean puzzle. The bones were so massive that they had stumbled upon the remnants of a long dinosaur. They were the skeletal remains of an elephant, and they lay concealed beneath the Vatican's sacred soil. The discovery, despite its
I remember that.
nature, the world continued.
See, this is where Jesse knows stuff. The Vatican, the Pope was actually given an elephant as a present, and they had a little like circus of curiosities, as it were, for a little while, and then it died. Then they forgot about it.
Mm.
And the bones rested quietly in the Vatican library, awaiting their moment in the spotlight. That moment arrived with the dawn of the 90s when curiosity about the enigmatic elephant at the Vatican began to captivate the world's attention. Silvio Bedini of the Smithsonian Institution took it upon himself to
Is that a lava pool down there?
Yeah.
The elephant's story began in 1513 when Pope Leo X ascended to the papal throne. It was during his reign.
I noticed you've got a few buckets of lava in one of the chests.
Yeah. I don't even know why I make lava at the castle.
You were hoping to find some more pillager outposts to pour on.
Pretty much. That's not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause fuck them pillagers. They like to appear on the bridge.
Yeah, but then they disappear when you turn
Yeah,
around.
it's weird.
This extraordinary gift, a token of diplomatic goodwill, rapidly became a sensation within the Vatican and beyond. The elephants symbolize an exotic wonder for them, capturing their hearts and imagination. But like all tales, this one too bore a tinge of tragedy. In 1516, the beloved elephant, a cherished visitor to the Vatican, drew its last breath. A cloud of sorrow descended when the Vatican doctors sought to cure the elephant's patient. In a misguided attempt, they fed the ailing creature gold dust, accidentally sealing its fate. After its demise, the pachyderm's memory slowly faded into obscurity. It was laid to rest beneath the Vatican's blessed courtyard, where it remained hidden and
Oh my god, ah, shit. Fuck that one up.
There's another video.
Some call them the Curia Romani, some simply the Curia. But whatever name you like the most, they're still the cabinet that looks over all the officials of the Vatican. They are, in essence, the Vatican's government. If the Pope is the president, the Roman Curia is the Senate. There are 9 main departments known as congregations, the oldest of which was founded in 1502. It's called the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith, and it was originally the office of the Inquisitor. Almost 500 years later, their mission is exactly the same. They're charged with safeguarding the religious doctrine and maintaining the orthodoxy of the Church. Each department handles something very specific. Some oversee liturgy, some are responsible for the canonization of saints, and some choose the new. But the Roman Curia is much more than just a couple of congregations. There are also tribunals, like the Supreme Tribunal of the Apostolic Penitentiary, responsible for the forgiveness of sin. And finally, there are many offices and 3 secretaries for promoting Christian unity, non-Christians, and for non-believers. Several enduring directives reflect direction for scholarly studies. They include the Pontifical Commission for Biblical Studies and the Pontifical Commission for the Code of Canon Law. The Vatican may look like a simple organization of Catholic brass, but the entire structure is a very real government, one which pulls a lot of unseen strings in the world. The King Pope. The Pope isn't merely a man who sends things out of a very tall window. He's actually the king of his own country. He's the leader of the smallest nation in the world, the head of government, and the supreme leader, the all-powerful monarch of Vatican City. This is something not many people know, that Vatican City is itself, by definition, an independent country. One reason the Vatican doesn't keep the public educated on its official origins is that they're kind of uncertain. Back in 1929, the Vatican made a deal with the Italian dictator Benito Mussolini. This was the tyrant who went to war against the world on Hitler's side, trying to recreate empire. Until 1871, Italy was divided into a bunch of different states. One of them was the Papal Lands, covering a massive third of Italy, ruled by the Pope. When Italy finally became a country, the Pope lost a huge amount of territory, and his power started to dwindle. This obviously didn't sit well with the rulers of the Vatican, as they had been enjoying pretty much unquestionable power for centuries. On February 11, 1920, the Lateran Treaty was signed by Mussolini and Pope Pius XI. The treaty was a kind of mutually beneficial deal for the two parties. The Vatican would stay out of political decisions in Italy, and Italy would have absolutely no power over the Vatican because it would finally be an independent country. This worked out well for Mussolini. Italy went to war with the fascists. The Pope had to stay silent about the politics of the war, otherwise he could lose control of his fine kingdom. Much of Vatican City is sealed by walls and difficult to enter as a non-invited guest. If you manage to step onto St. Peter's Square, you will be in the smallest country in the world. To really get inside the Vatican border and visit the Vatican Museum, you won't have to deal with immigration officers, but you will have to go through tight security. The Vatican economy. Nobody knows exactly how much money the Vatican has, but we know that it's a lot. The smallest country in the world has one of the largest impacts on the global financial system.
Exactly, because religion is a business.
Mm-hmm.
Enterprise, banking deals, real estate, and so much more. The economy.
God needs real estate. God needs real
Totally.
estate hold. But Jesus loves you, and he really loves to be able to buy real estate holdings. Where does the money from that go to? Goes to the church to
Mm.
spread the word of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Funny how
that's what we spend it
that.
on.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
now, while we use that money to go spread the word of Jesus, what we're going to have you do, we're going to have you be a missionary, and you're going to go spread the word of Jesus too.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to, and you should really try hard. Meanwhile,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to go do cocaine and use your money to spread the word of Jesus.
Yeah, also
Yeah,
touch little kid. I mean,
yeah, whatever. But my
The
Jesus.
Vatican is wildly
mm-hmm.
complicated, and it also has a lot of.
I swear to God, of all the things that could happen when I die, if I die and it's Jesus standing there, I'm going to be really, motherfucker. If you're the way shit really is, where the fuck have you been?
No shit.
I'm not supposed to talk to a god like that. What if they're incompetent? Huh? What if the God is fucking stupid and incompetent? We're just lazy. We're just doesn't care. Why? Come on. Who gives a shit? This is all stupid. All fucking.
It reminds me of like an argument I almost got into with the Christian because there was a video that Stephen Fry did a while back, and he was talking about,
I know
like,
Philip J. Fry
Stephen
from
Fry.
Futurama.
Uh,
I don't know if that is though, serious.
he's a known British comedian.
Okay. British comedian.
Yeah, he did a show with Hugh Laurie from House.
Oh, I know who you Laurie is.
Yeah. So anyway, so Stephen Fry was interviewed, and he was talking about what God would allow the children to get cancer at a young age and stuff like that, And I can't exactly remember what the person's response was, but I was thinking the same thing. It's like, why would God allow? Like, I get the whole free will thing that yes, man chooses to be evil, but why would God allow for children to get horribly sick and die? I can't exactly remember the answer that the person gave, or that person gave in defense. All I know is I'm just like, yeah, and you wonder why I'm not a Christian. But trust
Because
in
Jesus wanted their parents to cry for the rest of their lives
Yep.
and feel like the world was nothing and pointless because
that
their child is dead.
Jesus
They don't know
said
when
that
their
the
child
parents
is dead
had,
now
yeah,
because their child is dead.
yeah.
But my Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, oh, I'm supposed to pray to God. I don't know where my brother is. I don't know where my mother is. I don't know where my father is. But I especially don't know where my brother is. So fuck you, God.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. Like I always say, I have real faith because I'm waiting to see what God is till I die. And yeah, I could actually see him myself and get an idea. Maybe he'll even tell me. But at that point, then he is the motherfucker who I have my grievances with. Let's
Yeah.
make no mistakes about it. Just because I'm waiting to see what God is does not mean that I'm going to be nice about it. I'm not going to softball and be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry. You know why? Because your world sucks. Your
Yeah.
creation sucks. Your decision making sucks if you're omnipotent, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody I see walking around, scumbag after scumbag after scumbag. But my
Yep.
brother's dead, so fuck
Yep.
you.
Yep.
Shove religion up your fucking ass. Whatever fucking safety blanket y'all need to fucking walk around like Linus on fucking Charlie Brown. Whatever you need. But by all means, shut the fuck up about it. I'm tired of hearing about your stupid fucking religions. Just makes you look like a bunch of fucking retards.
Yep. Oh, but it's God's will. Bull fucking shit it
Oh, but
is.
Jesus loves you one day. Shut the fuck up.
Huh.
And at the end of the day, what will Christians say to you? Okay, I agree, but Jesus. Okay, retard. Okay, you one note brainwashed fucking retard.
Oh, but trust God's plan.
Meanwhile, this whole fucking my Israel, my Palestine, my Israel. Okay, Shapiro.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and then you got a sect of Jews that think that they're the chosen ones and they should have all the land and nobody else.
Fuck everybody's
Cause
religion.
us, cause
Fuck
us,
all
cause,
every religions equally
cause
because
us
you're all
goyim
fucking
are
stupid.
subhuman.
Look, everybody who practices any religion, I'm not singling out any religion because I view you all equally stupid. If you practice any religion, I view you as being very, very stupid. But you're all equally stupid. I have equal disdain for all of you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have less disdain for a Christian than a Muslim
Well,
because
yeah,
Christians don't fly fucking airplanes in the
they don't
buildings full
kill
of
people.
toddlers.
They don't kill people in the name of their
They don't
God.
cut off their wife's head for no fucking reason. Because Muslims are fucking garbage. But Yeah, but both of your religions are still stupid. Just because, one is less of a fucking primitive fucking savage than the other doesn't mean your religion isn't stupid.
That's why it
And yes,
cracked.
if you're a Muslim, yes, you are a primitive fucking savage. You know how I could tell? Because of the way you fucking dress. You dress like it's 2,000 fucking years ago. Go up the fucking times and buy some goddamn pants. Take the towel off your fucking head.
It's like I said this whole thing going overseas is tiny hats versus towel heads. Was this part 35? How many years had these two religious sects been going to war with each other?
I don't know, but I wish they'd just kill each other off already. Quite frankly, I'm sick of hearing from both of them. I get nothing from either of them, so I really don't give a fuck what happens to either of them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's why I just find it like I shouldn't be surprised, but it's utterly fucking disturbing how people will just buy into the war propaganda and take a side.
Meanwhile, it's people who think they think their own thoughts. Meanwhile, did you know that some people don't even think? Like, some people don't have an inner monologue where they think in sentences?
Yeah,
You,
yeah, those people.
like, when you think thoughts, they're sentences that you hear in your head, right? Your thoughts. That's what thoughts are, right?
Yes.
Some people can't do that. Some people only think in pictures, like a dog.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to work through something complex in your mind without thinking in sentences?
Yeah, and the whole inner monologue is exactly why I'm not completely an atheist. Like there's definitely some sort of higher power that
From an inner
we that
monologue?
we I don't know. Like well that's
Don't
what
know where
I'm
you're going
wondering
with
if
this one.
yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this one either, but I'm like sitting here thinking is the inner monologue a spiritual thing?
No, it's your thoughts. It's your fucking thoughts. What else is it going to be? You think God's talking to you? I mean, the only other thing would be as if you have some sort of psychic ability, which I do believe that if you empty your mind enough, you would be able to take in another one's thoughts. But that's something you
Mm-hmm.
probably have to practice. You know what I mean?
Yep.
do with the Pope himself or the Holy. Seeing as he is the ruler of Vatican City, he's the one who controls all their money. The church's revenue is something called Peter's pence, which was a term that came around in the 8th century. From it,
products you didn't know you needed. Big Blanket Co. has a brand new product called the Hideout Hoodie, and it's so
individual people and churches all across the globe. The Holy See collects. Every time someone puts money in a donation box, that money goes directly to the Pope's control. The Pope then takes this money that's been donated to the church and delegates it to be invested. The investment portfolio is spread between stocks and bonds. Western European currencies and real estate are also held within the portfolio. The church is even active in the stock exchange. There are some investment opportunities.
Of course they are.
For example, it will not.
God needs to be on the stock exchange, you know.
Such as pharmaceutical companies that manage birth control. In this regard, the Holy See's investment strategy is similar to
The church has holdings that invest in birth control.
But I thought the church was opposed to birth control.
They are. But they really like money. That's all they really care about. And the
Shocker.
thing is, everybody who is religious can hear that they're hypocrites and that they make money off of birth control from stock holdings. But then they'll be like, yeah, but my Jesus loves you. Jesus is the way. Jesus loves little babies. And then it'll be like, are you just ignoring this? And they're like, yes.
Yep.
Yes, we'll just ignore it completely.
those that employ a faith-based investing policy. Treasure in the dungeon. According to some experts in ancient history, biblical was stolen from
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I can't respect that.
Romans in the year 70 could be hidden underneath the Vatican to this very day. Treasures could be held in a secret vault inside the Vatican dungeon, away from prying eyes. Totally secret. We already know the Vatican is home to one.
There's a pillager on the village or on the bridge.
So turn around.
Yes, I'm turned around and I'm running the other way, so
Then go
we'll
back.
see.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to run away. You just have to turn around and turn back.
Nope, he's still there.
But according to Tom Meyer, a biblical studies professor from California, there could be actual treasure stashed away under the Vatican, not just paper and seed. This treasure was pillaged from Judea after the Roman Emperor Titus slaughtered roughly 1 million Jewish people. The Romans torched the great religious buildings in Jerusalem, stole all the artifacts. And while we don't know for sure, it makes sense those artifacts could have, over time, found their way into the powerful hands of the Vatican. And if so, they certainly stashed underground in a hidden vault, a place that's legitimately secret, somewhere you won't tip. Internet video. Vatican murders. On May 4th, 19... Alois Esteman's wife Gladys Mero were killed in their apartment in Vatican City. Alois had been the newly founder of the famous Swiss Guard, appointed to his position hours before his. He was killed by a gunshot wound. Wife, a native of. He was killed by a bullet. These weren't the only bodies discovered in the apartment. There was also a guardsman by the name of
Oh, they're dead.
died from a gunshot. The day after the incident, the supreme seller of Vatican came before the media and told them what happened. They said that an
Wow, that fall didn't kill him as he hit the water. There, now I got him.
with Alois. Alois was his superior, and he had disciplined him for leaving Vatican City one night without. Because of this disciplinary action, Cedric was not awarded. Angry about the entire ordeal, he killed Alois and his wife, then turned a gun on him. But this is just what the Vatican says. The truth is that they never brought in the Italian law enforcement. They also didn't wait for results or an autopsy. It was almost as if they had a story to tell the news beforehand. Ron proved that Alois Esteman had some pretty deep connection. Rumoured there were some who didn't want him climbing any higher up the ladder. Whatever the case, this murder mystery was technically solved by the Vatican 24 hours after it happened. It's just that over 20 years later, few people believe. What do you think happened in that apartment? Let me know in the comments. Remember to hit the subscribe button before the end of the video. Blessed are the poor. Peter's pence is the tradition from the 8th century when all Catholics are instructed to donate to the church. Often the donations are going towards...
Wow, these things are way cooler looking
It's
now.
like when a fast food joint asks you to donate $1 to some children's charity. That gut instinct telling you the money isn't going to not be wrong. In 2019, journalists broke the case of the Vatican funds wide open. A Wall Street Journal investigation found out that as little as % of donations typically advertised going towards charity work reach those in need. The other 90% of the cash goes to the church, which is then used to budget Vatican's deficit. This was a pretty big blow to the Pope.
So basically, they just said that the church keeps 90% of everything.
Poor, but instead of giving all the money back to those poor people, they use some of the money to keep the electricity on.
Oh yeah, just to keep the electricity on. Yep.
Mm-hmm. What do you think? Pope Swiss Guard. In the year
The church is a business. That's what I think.
Charles just conquered the French, but he had a major problem. Charles didn't have enough money. Army of 34 standing men. Soldiers were furious and started to march on Rome. These soldiers wanted payment, and they were going to get it by sacking and pillaging the papal. On May 6, 57, the Holy Roman Emperor Imperial Army looted Rome and caused havoc inside the city for 12 days. The only defense Rome city's 5,000-man strong militia and 189 men of Swiss Guard. The last stand was made at the Vatican, and every last defender of Rome died, except for 40 Swiss Guards, who made it their duty to escort Pope Clement VII to safety. Even though the Vatican was, the Imperial Army was utterly torn to shreds. While that many deaths seem like a disturbing loss to the Swiss Guards, consider that the elite unit crushed the fighting force of the Imperial Army by 3/4. Of the 20,000 troops that stormed the city of Rome, 15,000 were city's guardians. Basically, the Pope's warriors turned out to be tougher than Leonidas' 100 Spartans. A lot of property. The Pope controls not only all of Vatican City, but also who knows how many investment properties across the world, but the Church also owns some pretty unexpected property. For example, the Holy See Sala Sancta, set of 28 marble steps that lead up to the Lateran Basilica in Rome. Catholics believe these are stairs that Jesus walked trial. The fact that the Holy See is such an important religious sanctuary is pretty major, but that's not all. The Church also owns the Apostolic Palace, a massive chunk of Italy, and the old residence of Domitian. In 1596, the Pope had the property purchased, and it's been used as a vacation home for the leaders of the Vatican ever since.
Oh, it's a vacation home for the leaders of the Vatican. How swanky.
But perhaps the weirdest the Church owns is the Mountain National Observatory in Tucson, Arizona, for an organization that long ago persecuted and killed anyone willing to the intricacies of the universe. It might be a little weird for the observatory. The Vatican Advanced Technology Observatory is still one of the leading states of America. I suppose the Church had a change in science and the universe. Major crime. One thing you won't see in the Vatican stores is their crime rate. As the smallest country in the world, one of the highest crime rates per capita. If you look at the figures, Vatican is the most to go for non. Yet, how can this be when the Vatican is home to 1,000 residents, nuns and priests, the church? Well, it's all about the tourists. There are about 80 who cross the border into Vatican City each year. And because there are so many tourists, you can expect there to be heaps crime. The Vatican has a crime rate of about 1 to 1.5 crimes committed per person every year. What that means is that every person who visits one or one and a half. And while that may sound scary, the truth is that it's really part of pickpockets and minor criminals shoplifting and stealing wallets. According to Crime and Punishment worldwide, roughly 90% of these
So what you're telling me is go to the Vatican if you're a klepto because it happens so much they won't catch you.
crimes are never prosecuted.
See, never prosecuted.
International Business Times reported in 2020, Vatican had somewhere around $20 million in gold reserves being kept in the U.S. Federal Reserve. That's a lot of gold for the church to be holding. But gold is hardly when. Besides all that priceless yellow, the Vatican has about $764 million in equity across their accounts. They manage somewhere around $64 billion in global. The Vatican is also
So the church is worth 64 billion. I'm sure Jesus is proud.
kept in various safekeeping. We don't know exactly how much gold the Vatican has, but it's certainly more jewelry boxes. Considering their gold reserves, the artifacts they have, locks, and whatever else they're keeping away, most experts believe they have $50 million in total worth of solid gold. Even if the banking systems fail globally, the Vatican will still be filthy rich because of its gold reserves. They've been stockpiling the stuff for about 2,000. It's less difficult now. The Vatican's funds, thanks to recent reforms made by the Pope concerning the Vatican's finances. The evidence is still. One thing we know for sure is the Vatican has tons of gold. Which of these wild Vatican secrets shocked you the most? Best none. Maria Crocefissa della Concessione was a nun living at the Sicilian convent of Parma del Montechiaro back in 1666. On August 11th, the 31-year-old woman woke up splattered with ink, holding a mysterious covered in an incomprehensible script of symbols and letters. Historical records say that Sister Maria told everyone by the devil to embody through possession. This mysterious message remained a jumble of nonsense for centuries. Nobody ever managed to code the 14-line script until the 2010s. Finally, Daniel Abati and his team agreed special software to identify characters used in the. It was a jumble of words from Greek, Latin, Arabic, and even ancient runic. But the actual translation is still quite confusing. It sounds like a crazy person's rap. Sister Maria wrote that Holy Trinity was dead weight. She wrote something about God, mortals, and she wrote a bewildering passage about the river Styx from Greek mythology. The translation of the letter has proved to be bizarre, but the researchers believe Sister Maria suffered from schizophrenia. She must have had a deep knowledge of ancient languages during her life. It's unlikely she was by the devil, but was mentally unstable against religion, so her letter was filled with religion. But this was the 1600s, and anyone who displayed mental malady back then was accused of being by one devil or another. The House of the Apostles. An ancient church has been discovered near the Sea of Galilee in Israel, and researchers believe the house found underneath it may have once been the home of the Christian apostles Peter. Two of the men pictured. A group of excavators all over the world made June of 29. The church was constructed during the Byzantine period and had been nicknamed Church of the Apostles. Records from 725 AD, when the old Protestant area, show that there was a large church standing there. It was supposedly a basilica that had been constructed over the house that Peter entered. For those unfamiliar with the story, Peter and Andrew were the first disciples of Christ. They had been fishing out on the Sea of Galilee when Jesus first asked him to drink. And this buried house may very well have been where they lived 2,000 years ago. Christian martyrs. The Christian saints Chrysanthus and Daria have been legends for centuries. But according to new evidence, these Christian martyrs may be people living in the 3rd century AD. Just like the legend says, they may have converted thousands of Romans to Christianity, or being arrested by the authorities and buried alive in a sand pit. The evidence comes in the form of skeletal remains discovered. These bones were recovered from the Cathedral of the Reggio during renovation. Workers found over 100 bones hidden underneath the altar in a sealed. Bones belonged to 2 skeletons, shattered bodies of 2 trapped down there since. Whoever these guys were, they were extremely important since their skulls were found packed inside gold and silver containers deep in the vault. Scientists ran multiple tests on the skeletal remains. One of the first comprehensive bones of alleged Christian saints. The church cooperated. Everyone was very excited. For the first time in history, the bones of living martyrs exist. And sure enough, carbon dating showed the skeletons died some. And they suffered major lead poisoning. This was pretty common in ancient Rome, since lead was everywhere. But the tests also showed one skeleton belonged to a woman and the other to a man. They were both the exact ages that Chrysanthus and Daria were when they. And so all the evidence points to these saintly legends. Very real. The discovery has made scientists a little shocked, because if the story of Chrysanthus and Daria is true, how many more biblical tales might be? The demon Pazuzu. Almost all of the great demons of ancient Mesopotamia have faded into the history. Horrifying creatures like Baba no longer strike fear into the hearts of the living, but there is one demon that's still around today, even by the name of Pazuzu, that somehow managed to sneak way into popular culture in the 21st century. Ancient texts describe Pazuzu as the son of king of all the wind demons. He's depicted as a rather ugly monster that stands on 2 legs, has claws for hands, a double pair of wings, tail of a scorpion, male genitalia twisted into the form of a snake, and the head of a beast with horns and a snarling dog mouth. Roughly 3,000 years ago, people of Mesopotamia wore amulets with a picture on them. In 1973, Pazuzu was the demon 12-year-old girl in the movie The Exorcist. There have been more statues, bronze pendants found depicting Pazuzu, almost any other demon in history. There's a stone plaque of Pazuzu, 8th or 6th century BC, held at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, along with a bronze head crafted around the same time, also found in ancient. The Holy Prepuce. The Holy Prepuce, or the Holy Foreskin, is exactly what it is. Bizarre.
I'm sorry, what?
Supposedly the leftover of Jesus Christ's circumcision. According to the legends, because Jesus was born as a Jewish boy, circumcised at 8.
They're like, look, we got Jesus' foreskin. Shit's 8 feet long. This is Jesus. Weird ass Christian.
And his foreskin was then kept as a treasure all the way into the Middle Ages. In fact, there were no less than a dozen churches across
Are those
the
palm
claimed
trees?
to hold a
Can't
Nobody knows
be.
if this thing survived into the Middle Ages or which church really owned it. But one of the alleged foreskin relics came into the possession of Pope Leo III in the year 799, given as a gift by King. It then remained in the Sancta Sanctorum in Rome up until the city was attacked in 1527 by the Charles V. After Rome was invaded, the population was slaughtered. Most of the Holy Relics destroyed or scattered. 30 years later, the Holy Prepuce supposedly surfaced in the small of Calcutta. Historical documents show that the Pope even confirmed.
How would you know?
Agreed that it would stay.
How the fuck would the Pope know if that's Jesus' real cock meat piece? Did he taste it? I mean, what the fuck? Come on, give me a fucking break here. Fucking people, I swear to fuck God. He's like, oh, that's the real thing. I'd know Jesus' dick meat if I ever seen it. Like, that looks like some holy fucking dick meat right there. I'm sure that's even from a dick, you know? I mean, like, they don't fucking know. They don't know shit. You're just all fucking retarded, and they know that. All they know is that you're retarded. That's the whole premise for every fucking religion. They know that you're stupid. And if you don't believe me, why does the Catholic Church have $62 billion with a B? With a motherfucking B. Hey, do you have $62 billion? Do you have $1 million? Probably not. Church got that.
Was housed in the Church of the Holy Name. Every year on January 1st, a local priest would lead a procession around the village while holding on to this rather disgusting holy treasure. This lasted until just weeks before the procession was to happen. The relic was reported missing. Some say the Vatican came back to hold archives, while others believe it was stolen by a group of Satanists. Another theory is that it was taken and sold on the black market. Whatever the case, the holy prepuce has been missing ever since. What do you think happened to the holy prepuce? Do you believe it's even exists? Let me know in the comments below, and hit subscribe while you're at it. Demon burials. In a Polish cemetery, archaeologists came across 5 skeletons that had been buried in a barbaric and bizarre fashion. These 5 individuals had been found with sickles placed at their feet. This was actually an obscure burial practice researchers believe would protect the dead from deep. Either that, or the sickles were meant to prevent them rising out of their graves, tormenting the living. Excavations at the ancient Glasgow cemetery back in 2008, and even though researchers have found graves from the Bronze Age, these burials date back around 400 years ago. One of the victims was a man. Another was a woman around this age who had her skull completely crushed, likely because of farming that took place over the grave centuries after she was buried. There was another woman found, coin in her mouth and rock in her throat. Researchers say this particularly strange grave suggests the woman was likely considered. Fortunately, the archaeologists can't completely agree what the sickle in the grave truly meant to these medieval people. But it definitely has something either to protect the dead from demons or to protect the living turning into demons. Jesus' twin brother. Professor Dale Martin University recently revealed the bizarre theory that brother and Thomas. The professor said that Jesus was probably Judas. Thomas had just been nicknamed. That's interesting because Didymus is twin, and of course also because Judas was the man who sold Jesus out to the Romans. But here's what a lot of people don't know. There's actually a strand of Christianity popular for hundreds of years called Thomasine Christianity, flourished in the Middle East. Thomas with quite a bit of reverence. Many of the Thomasine Christians, Thomas was the twin brother of Jesus, him almost just as important as Christ himself. But like so many things from the Bible, this is really just Orthodox Christians don't believe Jesus had siblings, and Thomas was only a complex nickname for Thomas, who was actually a twin brother of some other unknown character. Then again,
Put that back on 2 seconds.
Also,
Yeah.
the opinion that Thomas and Jesus were indeed brothers, but in a more spiritual, divine way than being bound by blood. The body of Saint Dacian. There is a corpse in a Manhattan church that was put there to avoid being stolen by the Italian government. It's the body of Saint Dacian, an obscure Roman martyr. It's not actually his whole body, but his skeleton that's been contained inside of a replica of his body, which is almost worse than if it were just his bones on display. The thing about Saint Dacian is nobody really knows who he was. We don't know when he died. We don't know why he was such a martyr.
Jones Canadian bacon is America's favorite because it's made with.
Sure where his bones came from. All we know is that they were kept in the private chapel of a well. But when she ran out of money, private chapel going, the Italian government moved in to seize her belongings, including the bones of her. To avoid the bones being thrashed, she donated them to the Church of the Most Holy Redeemer in. Bones were shipped there and are still on display in the with a trove of treasures, 150. Jesus on ice. With the story of Jesus walking
Jesus on ice.
If you're not sure of all specific details, they can be found in the New Testament. Jesus walking across the surface of Galilee as one of his miracles. But according to a new and shocking study done by Professor Warren North at Florida State University, that probably never happened. The professor says that instead of walking on water, Jesus probably walked on an patch of ice, thereby tricking the locals into thinking he could do miracles. It all has to do with a local freezing phenomenon brought on by water and atmospheric conditions. 2,000 years ago, it wasn't uncommon for small patches of ice to between 2,500 and 1,000 years ago. There were two prolonged periods of extreme cold, and when one of these cold snaps hit, small, nearly invisible rivers of ice could be found on the edge of the sea. Researchers now believe Jesus had probably figured this out himself and had walked across a patch of nobody knew was there. This would have given the illusion really was walking across water. The relics of Muhammad. The relics of Muhammad are a Islamic version of the Holy relics were supposed things that belonged to Prophet Muhammad thousands of years ago and are kept at various mausoleums.
Muhammad's not from thousands of years ago. Just saying.
Across the modern Islamic world, there's the sacred seal kept in a small ebony box in Topkapi, Turkey, supposedly used by Muhammad himself when writing documents. There's the blessed sandals that were supposedly worn by Muhammad, 4 of his teeth that were knocked out of his head during the battle of the when he was struck by a battle axe. There are multiple supposed footprints of Muhammad preserved in plaster. One of them is at the Ayub Sultan Mosque complex. But perhaps strangest of all is the beard supposedly shaved from his face by his favorite barber, and all these years later is still kept in a glass. In 1765, the British colonists living in rejected the taxes the British government tried to impose. It was the beginning of what would become the United States of America's great freedom. The colonists realized they tried their own taxes to pay to their own government instead of handing over their parliament. After all, why should they give their money to a government on the other side of? At the time all this was going on, Boston was one of the biggest cities in North America. It became the center of protest against the government. The main group of protesters called the Sons of Liberty, later known as Patriots. Those who supported the British government were called Loyalists. In 1767, the British government raised taxes. Then in 1773, the Tea Act was passed to enforce the taxes that colonists. Finally, on December 1773, forever, tea became a symbol repression, and demonstrators in Boston had had enough. In a rage, they destroyed a ship loaded with English tea. This political protest as the Boston Tea Party. But here's one of the weirdest events that took place during this whole revolution. In January of 1774, patriots in Boston captured a loyalist and customs official by the name of John Malcolm. They were so sick of the loyalists that, to send a message, tarred and feathered him. They stripped him down to the waist, soaked him in tar, threw feathers all over him, and forced him to apologize for his behavior and denounce King George III. After this, John Malcolm got on a boat and moved to England. The Egyptian strike. The first recorded strike in human happened somewhere between 1170 and 1152 BC. For 2 decades before the beginning of the strike, the great king Ramesses III had done his best for the Egyptian people, and as he approached his 30th birthday, the Egyptians started making plans for a great festival in his honor. But trouble had already begun. 3 years before the festival, monthly wages of tomb builders who had worked in the place of truth were given to them late. There had been some confusing negotiations with scribes and workers to get the tomb builders compensation while they were forced to wait for real. But it only got worse and worse, and eventually the entire system of payment for the necropolis builders.
Did you leave your food in a chest?
Days, then refused to wait any longer. They laid down their tools.
Yeah.
Okay.
They shouted that they were hungry. They held demonstrations in front of the mortuary third, and even staged a sit-in at the temple of Thutmose.
I'll put in the one on the
Authorities
left.
had no idea how to deal with such an event, as never in the course of human history had such a thing happened. The government ultimately had no choice but to give rations and payments to the workers, who then returned to their. It was such a success that historians believe it could be used throughout the rest of the reign of King Ramses III. Napoleon's fight against murder. The great French Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte was defeated in an humiliating fashion at Waterloo in 1850. It was the final defeat of the French army, but not Napoleon's only indignity. He also got into a battle with rabbits that nearly left him dead in the summer of 1806. Napoleon had just signed the treaties of Tilsit to end the war of the Fourth Coalition. To celebrate, he went on a rabbit hunt. He had his chief of staff collect the bunnies. Napoleon invited the most prominent men in his military. Then hundreds and some thousands of bunnies were released from their cages for men to hunt. Napoleon and the men had expected rabbits to run away in terror, but instead, a mob of rampaging bunnies hopped straight towards Napoleon. The crowd was laughing nervously. Then they began to shriek in horror as it was clear Napoleon was in some. The bunnies started hopping up his legs and swarming him with clearly evil intent. Of course,
awesome.
Napoleon was in danger of being killed by the rabbits, but it was humiliating because when he failed to beat the rabbits off his legs and they just kept coming, he ran away. Napoleon literally fled from a throng of tamed rabbits and hid like a coward in his carriage until they finally left. In front of all his general important people in France, Napoleon ran away from rabbits like a terrified child. The Salem tomato trial. 200 years ago.
It doesn't sound like he was terrified. It just sounds like he was sick of the fucking stupid shit.
Church and an obstacle to reaching. The history of the tomato in Europe goes back to about 15.
That's
when
Malte.
the famous Spanish conquistador Cortez, the man who conquered the Aztecs, brought the seeds back to. Then throughout the 16th century, Europeans didn't eat tomatoes so much as they grew them for ornament. In the 1700s, people actually feared that eating tomatoes would kill them. They thought fruit was poisonous, even though that's obviously not the case. The truth
I thought
was
tomatoes would kill them.
tableware contained significantly high lead content.
And one motherfucker like, you know these are delicious. They go on everything.
But of course, medieval Europe couldn't exactly put the two entirely blamed the tomato. The tomato's reputation. That was when a man named Robert Gibbon Johnson participated in the Salem tomato trial. The entire point of the trial was to prove once and for all tomatoes could be eaten as ordinary food. So a large group of people were brought to the courthouse in Salem, where Robert took the stand with a basket of fresh.
Yeah, I would have volunteered for that. Be like, you got some white bread and mayonnaise to go with this? Because I like tomato sandwiches. Like, shit.
Talking Dad! Got a phone and a watch for the kids. Aren't you worried about social media?
To prove his point, he sat there and ate the entire basket of it. The crowd was expecting a violent, sudden death, but that death never came. Robert lived, the tomato was debunked, and from then on it became a well-accepted fruit. If any fruit had to go to trial, most evil than deserving. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe before the end of the Unsinkable Sam. All kinds of bizarre things happened in World War II. One of the weirdest most people haven't heard of involved a cat. The cat was originally Oscar, but Unsinkable Sam, because he was on board 3 ships that sank and managed to survive each time. Unsinkable Sam.
Well, we have a traitor on the bridge.
On board the Geek, but he
Cool.
ended up working for the...
Uh-huh.
He was on board the legendary Nazi ship the Park when it sank.
See what he has.
The HMS Cossack, and finally the HMS.
He's got lily pads. He's got dripstone. He's got some dye, I think that is. He's got some seeds. He's got some blue ice. Some expensive ass blue ice. No thank you. You can fuck off.
Famous that the artist Georgina Shaw Baker created a pastel portrait of Sam, still hanging at the National Maritime Museum in Greenwich. The very bad stuff. In the 19th century, Dr. Robert Liston was considered the finest surgeon of his day. Famous for his lightning-fast amputations, but ultimately went down in
The only thing I don't like about these new textures is that I can't tell the differences between the tools anymore.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, it seems like the old textures I could tell what a pickaxe is and what an axe is. For some reason, the way they have the icons set up, it's like I have to look real close.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Do you use glasses?
Well, I mean, I wear glasses.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You wear glasses, right? That's probably it. Because I can tell the difference real easy. Because it's like the pickaxe is a long thin thing on top that looks like a capital T, and then like the axe looks like a big battle axe to me.
Yeah, and see, to me, they just look like sticks to me.
Oh, that's your eyes.
Yep.
Mutiny on the HMS Bounty. In 1789, just 3 weeks into it.
That's a giant nose you've got there, my guy.
The vessel was seized by Captain William Bligh and 18 porters were set adrift in a boat at the mutiny port for Dubai near. It wasn't the most unusual, but it was a pretty uprising. Why would the crew? It's because they were sick of working and wanted to live a nice, quiet life with the Tahitians. Why would they want to spend the rest of their lives boat going back and forth across the world when they can just turn around and go back to enjoy the lush scenery, the lovely hospitality, laziness of island life? Well, that's pretty much what the mutiny. They sailed to the island of Hawaii and tried to set up their colony, but it was an utter failure. Choice but to sail back to Tahiti. They stayed there for a short while, but were worried that the British authorities would come back. So Fletcher Christian and other men, along with a dozen women, sailed around the South Pacific looking for their own island paradise. They found it on Pitcairn. It's an isolated volcanic island about 1,000 miles, 1,600 kilometers from Tahiti, where mutineers lived total isolation. They weren't discovered until 1808, when an American whaling vessel was drawn to the island by smoke from their cooking fires. A man named John Adams was the only survivor. According to what all the original settlers died on the island by acting weird. John Adams was the only survivor, and he went on to serve basically the island until 1829.
Weird.
There is still a community of descendants living on the island. Flour sack fashion. Here's something you may not fashion. Times were so lean in the 1930s that companies began making flour sacks with colorful patterns. The colorful patterns were who actually made dresses out of the flour sack because nobody could afford to purchase real clothes, buy real material. It started when the manufacturers of flour.
Dude, what happened to your llama?
Which happened to be made of cotton for all kinds.
I hear him. Oh my God, he's
floating out of flour sacks.
llama's hanging off of the bridge. Llama's hanging off of the bridge. Ruh-roh, somebody got stuck. That poor llama.
This was only 90 years ago.
Dude, he's like, oh.
Huh?
Today, it might not always.
Yeah, my dude, your llama's like hanging by a thread off of the bridge. You might want to help him out there. Huh?
The weird death of King George. Just before midnight on January 20th, George had one of the strangest deaths in English royal history. His health had been declining months because of a chronic lung issue back of his head in 1928. But it wouldn't be until 1906 that the diary of the king's physician, Lord Bertrand Dawson, came to public light. In the physician's journal, clearly describes how he decided to kill the king himself with an injection of morphine and cocaine straight into his jugular. It was considered useless, yet the king hadn't anything to say. According to what Dawson wrote in the journal, he wanted to grant the king a painful death, even though he hadn't agreed. He also wanted to kill him tonight so that his death would be paper instead of in the which were considered less savory at the time. In other words, the king was technically murdered by his own, simply so it would appear in the morning paper. Nobody found out about it for 50 years. Duke and the wine barrel. George
Okay.
Just like King George V 500 years later, the Duke of Clarence also perished under extremely unusual circumstances. He died by being.
Okay, this was like really hot to be dropping into, apparently. Holy shit.
Equally bizarre. Steal the throne for himself. His brother, Edward IV, had become the first English House of York in.
I dropped down there. There's 2 zombies already. There's an Enderman. There's a fucking archer and spiders. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
It's a monster party.
It's a monster mash.
It's the monster mash.
Now I gotta run straight out of Enderman because he's running through my fucking
Oh,
waterfall.
I hate the fucking Enderman. Makes those creepy ass noises.
Damn, he got executed by being dunked in a barrel of wine.
That's a way to go out.
Yes, fucking struggling to take a breath. Drowning is drowning.
No, I'm just like, I mean, if you're gonna die, might as well die doing what you love? Being a wino?
I'll see you again soon. More of history's great. Bye.
I mean, why would that be an execution? That's like, like it
Somebody
wouldn't.
pissed somebody off. They grabbed them and they shoved them into a fucking barrel. And they held them there like they're fucking Jason. While their feet kicked and kicked and kicked. And them did not.
Barrel of wine, though.
No way to ruin a barrel of wine.
Yeah.
And everybody thought he was a badass because he pulled his dead body out and said, "Everybody have a drink."
Ew,
He's fucking
aw. Yeah, this is for this was fermented with human infused wine.
in Jungle Empire. Let me guess, this is not going to be part of the video, is it?
Clearest UFO.
Nope.
In August of 1990,
Not what your fucking video said it was going to be about, honey. The liberal hive mind has.
Gotta love liberal hive mind.
You ever see Bob's Burgers?
No.
Well, his voice reminds me of a grown-up version of the son on that show.
Mm. There's a girl that I know of who looks like Tina.
Really?
Uh-huh. I'm like, oh, so this is why you go by actually Tina on Twitter. You have a picture of Tina as your profile. Man, that poor lump.
The alarm bells are ringing.
Yo, homeboy, you might want to pull your llamas up here before the strap snaps.
Hey, you want to know how you fix that? Here, check this out. I got him. Where is he? Here.
Problem solved.
Oh shit, I fell. There's no water anymore, is there?
Too bad he doesn't drop anything.
There's no water anymore, is there? Oh, there is water, thank God. I thought I was going to be running back to the castle.
Which is essential to moving forward. Quote, first time, Jen, that I felt like the 2024 election is in great trouble for the president and for our Democrat role. Now you think?
I like how the mutton actually looks like a lamb chop.
Yep.
Happens to be part of that little progressive caucus. I guess we could refer to it as the Hamas caucus. And we all know how angry Joe Biden right now for not, I don't know, taking a very weird stance of supporting Hamas terrorism. So most likely
It's fucking hilarious that the dipshit is trying to play both sides, and he's gonna end up losing both the Muslim and the Jewish vote. Good job, dipshit. And he's getting his ass kicked in the polls, too. It's gotten to where even CNN can't fucking deny it anymore. It's fucking hilarious. Because Democrats are so fucking stupid.
Yeah, attack like a motherfucker.
Like, gee,
Stop
this
shooting me! Dude, he shot me out of the fucking waterfall. Are you fucking kidding me? Really?
Donald Trump had pointed the numbers back. Absolutely astounding stuff being released. Here's a poll from likely voters from New York Times/Seattle, mostly focusing in on some of the most important battleground states. And some of these Trump leads, I mean, there's something to behold. Take a look at these numbers. Supposedly, Donald Trump is leading Joe Biden by 11 points in Nevada. This is a state that we've had our eyes on for a while now. We've been noticing that red word shift. Well, it's possible that Nevada shifts right hard. Pennsylvania, Trump supposedly leads by 5 points. Trump leads by another 5 in Arizona, another Biden.
Can you get
Georgia,
in bed,
tied
Lindsay?
Michigan. Biden having a lead in Wisconsin. That one I think is a little. Not
Lindsay.
exactly sure if that was
Give me a second.
possible. That Wisconsin trends left, but honestly, I pretty much a purple state that I assume would swing more towards Republicans. We'll have to see. And really, Trump doesn't really win every single one. Two of them, and it's pretty.
I was in the bathroom.
Currently, he's winning the most
Yeah, I saw
important
your
of those
AFK.
states.
Put my
Pennsylvania,
shit's down there so I
Arizona,
had to
and
bother you.
Georgia. Not just in this, but in most of the numbers that we've been covering. One of the biggest places where we're going to start seeing a shift is most likely Georgia and possibly even the Atlanta-Fulton County area. We saw a groundswell of support for Donald Trump.
Looks like stained glass in the sky.
It does. I'm just like, it makes me wonder if
I
there's a
dig it.
significance.
No.
It's
I
just
don't
there
think
for
so.
aesthetic purposes, I guess.
Yeah, it's like cool. It's clouds, is what it is.
Right.
List goes on. I wouldn't be surprised if blue trending Georgia took a little break, shifting over, returning to its beautiful red roots. Probably what we're going to.
Yeah, it was like calling Georgia a swing state. It's
Wow,
like,
I
no,
missed.
Georgia's a red state.
Black voters switch over, especially in an area.
I thought I could make
And
it.
that has a possible shifting effect. And of course, this is another effect that not only we've been covering, that most people have. That Democrats are now starting to acknowledge. Here's Democrat Representative Jasmine Crockett, who, by the way, never really existed in the press until her moment during that House hearing. Moment, by the way, for her absolutely cringe, trashy performance.
Let me tell you something. I don't want to talk about like it's some in here and Professor Gerhardt, just to be clear, as my colleagues have
Yeah, just to be clear.
Yeah.
provide evidence.
I go, yeah, you talk like one of those activist asshole types, like a commie.
Like a giant fucking.
Like a giant
Like
commie
a
piece
giant
of
turkey.
shit. A giant turkey.
That's what they used to say back in the day. A giant turkey.
Jive turkey. Last stewardess, I speak jive.
Look, stack 'em, yak 'em.
We can be a little particular.
With NJM, offers that's right for you. And top-rated customer. Oh, careful. Don't spill the table. Mascots. Just great insurance. NJM. Spectrum Business is made to work. Just like made to sell out even when the light wireless internet back. And made to keep you working with Spectrum complete connectivity and reliability.
It's a hit.
Spectrum Business.
Rocket, claim. Now they're giving her TV spot interviews. Now she's all over the place after putting herself in the spotlight. An interesting little situation. Anyways, let's get off the tangent and back on the topic. Jasmine Crockett showing up on CNN's State of the Union, discussing the idea of Biden's collapse in black voter support.
Here's the deal. Perception is reality. And so when you look at data that was provided in this poll, it talks about how people feel. And when people decide whether they're going or whether they're not going to the polls, it's all about how you feel in that moment. And so while the facts may not align with their feelings are dictated by reality. Their reality is that they feel better or they felt better when Trump was in office. But we've been trying to push back. We've got some very popular.
Well, of course, that's not the reality, what they feel.
No, it's not.
When Trump was in office, I want those.
Oh, it's how I feel.
So we've got a couple of things.
It's all about them
And then we also
feefies. You hurt my feefies. Oh, fuck off.
understanding exactly how any of this works.
And just as racist and condescending as you might expect from a Democrat, she claims that the reason black voters aren't supporting Joe is because they just don't understand. I guess you're too dumb to understand. Basic economics, political betrayal, horrible policies, terrible track record and performance. No. That's not your grievance with Joe Biden. You're just too dumb to understand all great stance. What a way to campaign. Democrats are rock and rolling absolute morons. Obviously Democrats are coming to the most insane copium conclusion.
Copium conclusion.
Heading into the next election. They may have the wrong response or the wrong analysis in the face of this voter shift, but that doesn't really matter because they're acknowledging the base reality, which is black voters are fleeing the Democrat Party in droves, especially in places like New New York and Chicago, and like I predicted, possibly in places like Fulton County in Georgia, maybe in Philadelphia. I mean, who knows? Maybe even in maybe it's going to have an impact, possibly even a slight impact. Democrats are obviously following the phenomenon. They know it, and they are scared shitless. The copium only comes out when it's time for that 5 alarm. That's exactly what we're seeing across the board. From Pramila Jayapal panicking over the lack in young progressive voter turnout, or potential low turnout, low voter enthusiasm, groundswell of voter boycotts against Joe Biden, or whether it's them panicking over the black vote. The reality is the numbers are not looking good for Democrats. They're struggling on enthusiasm, they're struggling with their core voter blocks, and they're down in the polls. Let's just say, like I keep saying, expect something crazy to happen.
That's why next year is going to be very, 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 very interesting, to say the least.
Much how it goes when Democrats have their backs against the wall, huh? Anyways, that's what I got for you guys.
Because I wonder how they're going to try to fortify the election with support for Joe plummeting.
Or whoever else they put up.
Mm-hmm.
So like Gavin Newsom got 100% of the vote somehow. Here they are, they'll just be like, Donald Trump's not allowed to be on the ballot in 18 states.
Yep.
And then we'll be like, well,
Jesus.
Guess that's the end of the nation then.
I guess it's a civil war.
That's where we're headed. It's not going to be a civil war, though. It's going to be a revolutionary war. We don't need this country. Why would we go to war with the United States of America, our own country, just to like redo our own country? No, we're gonna make a new one. That's because we're Americans. That's what we do.
Yeah.
The founding fathers said it was legal, so you can't come at me for saying stuff like this on the internet.
Hey guys, welcome. Let's tackle this leftist hypocrisy, and especially on this issue of illegal immigration. This might be the straw that breaks camel's back, or maybe possibly breaks the spell. What spell, you may be asking? Well, whatever spell the Democrats have had on the black vote for the last however many decades. You know, it does seem like a spell in a way. It's almost like a magical effect.
Yeah, as people are starting to find out real quick that they're the useful idiots.
The results or lack thereof are X identity. Therefore, we vote Democrat. Very, very powerful cult-like phenomenon. But it seems one issue is finally opening people's eyes. You know, for so long, Democrats have said, black people, you are our number one priority. You are our people. We serve you. We work for you. And now black Democrats in Chicago are getting a very, very eye-opening that it was all one big fat freaking con. One big fat lie. That actually it's all been a ruse. The illegal immigration and voter importing strategy is currently in full effect. Guess what group is being left out? Guess what group is getting the short end of the stick? Obviously loyal black voters, and let's just say they are pissed. I got some stuff to show you guys. We got some stuff to get into. All right, friends, so just take a look at this. The level of frustration.
This social media, you're not going to allow it to happen. And we're not going to allow this to happen.
Hey, you get what you fucking pay for.
Exactly. You voted for this shit. You voted for this shit. You made your bed. You get to fucking lie in it now.
I will knock on every senior's and make them hold their vote. This place will flip red.
You made your own bed of shit. Now you get to lie in that shit.
Because I'm not paying attention to they're getting displaced. I don't care what y'all trying to find housing for Latinos, for all that over here when they need that. Now, one time y'all said, ICE need to come. There's prostitution behind all these police districts.
Man, the Schadenfreude is fucking real.
I mean, it's a disrespect. And y'all continue to allow it to happen like Mayor Johnson is the most, and he's going to continue. The only people that like him is some of y'all.
Jeez, that looks like some of us were warning you people. Hey, don't vote for these people. They don't have your best interest at heart.
Attempting to get the job done for Democrats. Well, that voting
That's
efforts
pretty
to get
funny.
Joe Biden elected.
Yeah.
Now in Chicago, she's saying, I would exact opposite interests, a massive political flip in 3 years, and that's coming from a lifelong grassroots, on the street Democrat activist. And it's no surprise why. It's a priority. And this is what you get with toxic identity politics.
Yep.
This is what happens when your political identity perceived victim or most oppressed, or
Yep.
what it really is whatever group is the political focus of the Democrat establishment. Democrats, I guess, are going to be able to pass amnesty other way to get illegal migrants to vote in the system. And so illegal immigrants have become the #1 priority for Democrats, and I guess intersectionality priority pyramid. And what does that mean? Well, it means black people and black communities are being left behind, and black communities are also being targeted. You know, these inner city communities as opportunities. There should be focus to create business opportunity, public safety. You know, those are the priorities. But instead, what Democrats are doing is refusing to acknowledge and fix crisis, and they're shipping all of these illegal migrants not back to their home country or first country that they crossed where they could legitimately claim asylum if needed. No, they're being sent directly to Democrat cities, which is the right decision by Governor Greg Abbott and others, and Democrats are dealing with the influx of illegal migrants.
This is what cracks me up, right? Is that Chicago's already a shithole enough as it is with the high crime rate. Now that they got the migrant crisis, and considering that some of those so-called migrants, there might be some terrorists, possible terrorists amongst those migrants, they're going to be getting that shit now. Little of that, they're going to inject a little more of that cultural enrichment into your fucking shithole of a city. Yeah, good luck, Chicago.
It's like Borat. Yes, the rate.
Lower class. Illegal immigrants are largely unskilled laborers. So they're now taking jobs.
Yeah, if you thought the shootings were a problem, wait till the beheadings start.
Americans should be working to provide a basic living for themselves. In other words, Democrats and their endless black people and low-income voters are doing everything possible to screw those voters over every single election.
Yeah, just wait until people start getting beheaded in the streets in the name of Allah.
Jobs to frickin' China during the Bill Clinton normalizing trade with China and allowing WTO, despite clearly not meeting the standards. And now this illegal immigration thing, Democrats continue to screw you over. Let's, of course, not forget inflation. Or your jobs are paying less, there's less job opportunity, your neighborhoods are being inundated, public spending spent on illegal immigrants. First act was to disrespect American borders and commit a crime, and so you're not benefiting from the tax that you're paying, you're not benefiting for the politicians and party that you elect, getting screwed over, slammed from every single policy angle. So the question is, will you vote for it again? Will you vote for Joe Biden again?
The question is, will you apologize to all the white people that you called fucking
No
every
fucking
name in the
shit.
fucking book?
Called us racist, said that we have privilege. Okay,
Meanwhile,
then if
our
we...
only privilege was dealing with the stupidity of everyone else. That's our fucking privilege.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking for real. It's goddamn ridiculous after a while.
Said, you reap what you fucking sow. I wonder how many of you are going to be crying for Whitey's help.
Yeah.
As the most...
That's like when the illegal immigrants stole all the candy out of the bowl. What happened? A white guy came back over and filled it up out of his own candy.
Oh, yeah!
I was like, oh, well, that's not symbolic of society, is it?
No shit.
Alone, basic common sense economic principles, border policies, at least that's a decent place to start, because the alternative is a political class that hates you, criticizes you, manipulates you, uses you, and then makes you poorer.
Oh, and do I dare say, you asked for this. Ask and
Meanwhile, I
ye
just
shall
want to watch some
receive.
Ninja Turtles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just want to have a normal life. Not new Ninja Turtles, that shit's god awful. I mean like good Ninja Turtles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, none of this...
There's some guy on the internet that's done, he did like 16 seconds of Donatello, then he did like 30 seconds of Leonardo.
Uh-huh.
But it's computer generated. But my God, does it look good?
Oh,
my Lord, the whole thing, it just looks amazing.
I think I know what you're talking about because I've seen
They're
clips
just
on
labeled
Twitter.
test footage.
Yeah, I've seen clips of it on Twitter. I'm like, this looks
Yeah,
badass.
it looks like 91 Turtles, but like new, but
Yes.
like really gritty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's this? Where's this full feature
I was
Ninja
watching
Turtles
some video
movie?
today where this dude was like, I'm gonna train like Donatello for a month. But it turns out he was already like, a stunt man, and he's, a martial arts guy and all this other shit, and he does like something weird kind of professional obstacle tag, like playing tag, but like with like an obstacle course basically that they have to parkour through. But the guy he has come in to teach him how to bow staff is like a world record holder. He's a 25-year-old kid. He's a young blonde kid, but my lord, the skills on this fucking kid. Holy shit. Like his world record was during your bit you could throw the bow staff up with a spin and turn once and catch it and keep moving. And the world record was like doing it 14 times in a minute and he got like 28. Like he doubled the world
Damn.
record. Like he does such complicated shit so like effortlessly looking, you know what I mean?
Wow.
It's fucking crazy. It's a really good video. But he taught him good. There was this one thing this dude kept struggling with, and when he pulled it off, he felt like accomplishment. Felt good for him. Oh shit, that's granite. That's not dirt. Fuck me.
Oh yeah, I gotta love it how dirt and granite almost look alike.
Yeah, I did get an Nautilus shell off of one of these asshole underwater dicks.
Oh, the drowned.
Yep.
You got a trident too.
Oh yeah, that should be the next video. How do I repair a trident? I have one coarse
Yeah.
dirt.
I think he used that to grow shrooms in.
How do I repair a trident? Okay. You simply have to combine it with another trident on an anvil. But it'll remove any enchantments, which I don't have any on there.
Ah, shit.
I have 2 brooms. I have a bunch of mops. Believe me, you don't need to advertise this shit to me, please. Level fucking gold.
It's a whole system of items, rails, trying to create transfer for mobs, items, and players. So in this video, I'll explain everything about them. So of course, for the fundamentals of minecarts and rails, basically how it works is that for every type of minecart, they also need to be on top of rails. Of course, in certain scenarios, minecarts need power to go higher up, and there's different types of minecarts and different types of rails that all serve different purposes. Also, basically any mob or player can get inside of minecarts if they're the right size, and there's a ton of redstone purposes surrounding all these different components. Let's start with rails. What are the main types of rails and how do they work? Well, there are 4 rail types: powered detector rail and activator rail. Powered rails are crafted with gold, 1 stick, fast, and that gives you 6. And then standard rails are crafted with 6 iron ingots and 1 stick, and that gives you 16 rails. The activator rail is crafted with 2 sticks, 1 redstone, 6 iron ingots. And finally, detector rails don't actually use sticks in the recipe, but they do have 6 iron, 1 stone pressure plate, and redstone dye. Well, let's start with the standard rail. What can it do? Basically, standard rails can be placed where you'd like, but something you may notice, patterns will be cut off like this. That's because you can't turn and go upwards time with standard rails. However, another important thing to be aware of is that rails cannot go down 1 block, then up the same block. It doesn't work. And they cannot go down 2 blocks at once. If you place these in a 2x2, it'll make a circular pattern with rails. And the one big difference between normal rails and other types of rails is that where normal rails, all other rail types don't actually have a turn variety, they only work going straight. But speaking of other rail types, let's go on to the powered rail. Powered rails, as you would expect, are used to power a minecart. For instance, right here, we could power this minecart and make it go up the hill like this. The thing is, though, with powered rails, you cannot make them go in a circular configuration. And so because of that, if you wanted to, let's say, make a circular track that goes infinite, you'd have to do something like this with powered rails all connected to a redstone torch, or even just to a lever. Power these on, you get a redstone block, and of course you get on the minecart and have that minecart go on there forever. But then to stop it, all we have to do is right click on that again. And something you may notice is it actually stopped really abruptly, and I'll show you why. Let's on this track right here put a singular unpowered rail, and then let's put right next to it standard rail, as the power and powered rails will connect other powered rails but cannot go between unpowered rails. So for instance, this line of redstone will keep going this way, but eventually will stop. And actually, if we place powered rails this direction for a long time, eventually they will power off because it's gone far enough away from the torch that there's not enough power for it to continue on. As it goes 8 blocks away from the powered block, but this one unpowered rail here, if we place it down on this incline and just go down, you'll notice the minecart actually gets stuck on the side of the rail here without going any further. And that's because powered rails, when they're not powered, is a natural break. This is actually a really cool thing because what you could do is you could, let's say, have a minecart ride like this where you go on it and it's basically completely still. Of course, I'm pressing W here so I actually go forward. If we get close to this lever here, we can flick that, and then we can actually make ourselves be powered all the way up here. Also, instead of just having to punch minecarts randomly to pick them up, the trick to basically pick up a minecart is really simple. Just think of it as a mob you're killing. So basically, if we have like an axe or something and there's more damage there, that is going to break that a lot quicker. That's exactly the same as it would work. A really important thing to keep in mind is the fact that powered rails can only power minecarts or up to a certain level. They can't actually exponentially power your minecarts to go faster and faster. And so once that minecart gets to a speed, it's just going to stay there. And actually, I'll go into a little bit. The best way is to lay out powered rails to not. Now here's something important. It is the detector rail. Detector rails are almost always standard rails and powered rails. Now the opinion tends to be fairly split on whether or not detector rails are worth it, but more or less here's how they work. If a minecart goes on top of a detector rail, it'll power the other rails next to it, or really will power anything else next to it. It's kind of an alternative to laying out powered rails and just having them always on. With the detector rail, only a minecart can turn them on. So for instance, you could have a setup looking something like this. Instead of the rail, you have a detector rail on either side. It'd kind of go between a bunch of powered rails and then one detector rail. And if you come to a turn, of course, that would change. But generally, it would be a system like this. And the only problem of this tends to be if the minecart gets stopped and you're going on here, it's actually really, really hard to get those powered rails to stay on. The problem is too, because these can power anything around them, if we place down the minecart right along the track, we could actually have these other blocks of TNT next side go off without us being able to control that or not. And although of course that does make us a very cool self-destructing railway, it is not something that is entirely practical. So overall it's kind of up to you whether or not you use detector rails, but for me personally I do just like using it, as it is kind of cool. Powered rails only beyond traveling over them. The only thing that's important to know about detector rails is they do not work if they're going sideways. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say we have a detector rail right here, and it's kind of in a slope, as of course every rail can be in its flat or sort of slope position. And then we ride a minecart down here. Well, what will happen is as we ride along the track, you'll notice this will turn on, but it will not send power to the rails next to it. It actually will send the power when we're going downward. When it's going the opposite direction, you'll see it just does not send the power up. I'm not sure if this is a bug or not, but because of this, if you're using this design, you have to be very careful to make sure that this is powered on, and as well as that, to never let the detector rails be at an angle. Our track will be made, but fundamentally, you can definitely think of this as a minor pressure plate. And now finally for the last used rail, and that is the activator rail. The activator rail will basically couple things. It does need to be powered on for this to happen. So if we ride over that, nothing's going to happen. But if we power it and then ride over it, basically it'll just hop us out of the minecart automatically there, as I did not decide to get out there. It simply automatically got me out of the minecart. So that's the first thing it does, is it ejects mobs from minecarts, which is definitely a funny use. But again, I'm not touching anything. It just automatically pops me out right there. What is interesting though is if a minecart just sits on top of one of these that's powered, it'll actually rotate back and forth like that, which I think is being used to represent it trying to get a flare out. And because of that, you can actually use it sort of looks like a crusher or a grinder of some sort. The only other thing it does, it can disable minecarts with hoppers. So if a hopper minecart goes over one of them, it'll just stop picking up items. Now this is disabled. Definitely, yes, it's not picking up anything. We can re-enable it by making it roll over a unpowered activator rail. If we throw something next to this now, it'll definitely go into that minecart with hopper. It can also power on a minecart with command block, or it can ignite a minecart with TNT. It does not instantly explode like a minecart with TNT normally would if it just drops. It'll actually go through a full... Some rails are a bit expensive. Of course, if you're making a huge minecart track, which I would suggest, it definitely takes up to that. If we turn this on, a ton of rails. Let's move on. Next we have the spawner minecart, of course. Then there is the minecart chest. The minecart chests, if you right click on them, can store things inside of it, like right there. So it's sort of a good way of transferring items. And something really good to know about break them. They now break as one item. Whereas it used to be you break this and you get the minecart and the chest separately, but now you actually get it as one thing. There's also the furnace minecart. You right click on the furnace minecart with coal, and it's basically its own steam powered train, as long as it's on top of rails, that is. And it'll push things around it for a while. Then we have the minecart with hopper. This is a super powerful
Game
hopper.
crashed.
For example,
Damn.
items above it, all the way up here. It is still close enough for it to pick it up. Unlike a standard hopper where things have to be really, really close, this can be used to grab items in a really wide radius near it, which makes it ideal for basically any type of farm. And of course, finally, we have the minecart with TNT. Now, this is more powerful than your standard TNT, as you saw right there. The one piece can actually blow up quite a bit, but because of the expense of the iron associated with them, it's generally not worthwhile. But either way, that is all 7 types of minecarts and what they do. Now, one thing that is important is how to actually
There's an
use the
ultra
hopper
horror
and the chest
texture
minecarts
pack.
effectively, because of course you can put things in them, but how do you automatically get things out of it? If there is an empty hopper underneath the minecart with hopper, it will take the items
Wow.
inside of it and slowly put them inside that item
That's
hopper.
cool.
And the same is true with the minecart with chest. If we put that above here and put items in, it'll also have those items. If we have a
Okay.
hopper above one of these
Okay.
minecart chests, this will also happen. These will drain from the hopper into the chest. In fact, believe it or not, if you have a hopper minecart beneath, that'll actually take items directly out of a chest. Absolutely no hopper needed. But that is fundamentally how you move items around with hopper minecarts and chest minecarts. Alright, so what is the best pattern for your minecart tracks? And there are some very strange patterns you can do where you basically have minecarts circle each other, and the